guys, I'm Aveline. Welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all having an amazing day. So today we are building a house, not just an apartment. We're not just decorating an apartment today. I've been doing that, I want to say quite a lot this week, but it's literally just been 2 apartments, so not really. But there hasn't been any new builds up on the channel, like houses, this week. So I felt like it was time to sort of delve into a new one. But I think tomorrow's video, because this is out quite late and I haven't recorded it yet, I think that's actually going to be an apartment. However, I'll see if I can mix it up a little bit more for next week. But yeah, this video is out a little bit late as well because I actually met up with an old friend of mine that I haven't seen for either 4 years. We were supposed to meet up in February, but then she had to cancel due to some school stuff. And then, you know, a certain virus got in the way. I'm not going to talk about that today because someone got mad at me on another video where apparently I talked about it. But hey, you know, it's like when there's not much going on, what do you talk about? World issues. So anyways, that happened. So we kind of had to postpone it. And then, you know, more school stuff and life just being busy. So we finally met up today after not seeing each other for years. And it was really nice. We ate a lot of sushi and just talked and had fun. So anyways, but that is why the video is out quite late. I hope it's okay with you guys though. I also hope that you're enjoying your weekend so far. How many of you are back in school, like physically back in school at this point? Because I figure that some places still do online teaching. I'm not really sure. The situation is different in my country than it is from your country, unless you live in the same country as me, that is probably the same. So I don't really know. It's a lot to keep track of if I had to sit here and keep track of every single country and how they're doing. So I don't know, let me know. Anyways, enough talk about that. So this house is inspired, the exterior of the house at least, is inspired by a picture that I found on Pinterest. I know that's not really a surprise. Pinterest is my go-to for inspiration if I don't really know what to build. If I don't really have like a clear vision in my head of what I want to build. I usually just go on Pinterest for like an hour and I'm good to go. So this is, I have like boards and stuff that I've saved there. No, I cannot share them with you because my actual, like my full name is on Pinterest. So I'd rather not have that out there. And I also follow friends and stuff. They follow me. So I'm just keeping that separate from YouTube. But I do have boards with like inspiration pictures and stuff that I use when I don't really know what to build. So this is one that I saved a long time ago. I've just been going through my boards trying to figure out exactly what to build for today because I wanted to build a loft. I felt like it had been a while since I'd built a loft and I wasn't really in the mood for a family home today. And yeah, I just wasn't really in the mood for a tiny house either. I just wanted to build a loft. So that's what we're doing. And this one I have used like decor pieces from the Star Wars pack because I wanted this loft to be for someone very nerdy, someone who's a bit geeky. So I wanted them to have like collection pieces or collector's items or something. So I decided to use some of the droids and also the spaceships, but it's literally just that. It's just decor pieces. I've not used any of the furniture because I don't feel like it fits residential homes. I just don't. I've not used the windows either. I can't speak today. So just if I mess up English, it's basically because I'm really tired. Just deal with it. Anyways, but I've not used any of those important items, so they won't be missing. It's just the decor. So you can freely clutter this house if you download it, but you don't have Star Wars. You can just use some books instead, possibly some of the My Figures or My Sims figures or like crystals or something. You should be fine because it's literally just small decor pieces. You'll see it once we get to the interior because again, I've not used the pack for anything important, just the decor. So anyways, just so you know, I know I'll be getting a lot of questions about that on the gallery because a lot of people seem to think that like even if I have the pack, I can't use it because other people most likely won't have the pack. But like if I want to just use the decor, I'm still going to. However, I won't use it very much because it's not very versatile. Not every sim is into Star Wars. And also, I don't think I'll actually build anything for a Jedi or a First Order member or what are the last ones? Scoundrels or whatever. I don't think I'll be building anything for them. So it's just like these small decor pieces that I might use from time to time. I don't think the whole pack, like, I don't think it's worth buying it just for those decor pieces, by the way, just so you know, if you were wondering about that, because it's literally just like 10 items or possibly like 20, but that means including recolors or different swatches, so I just don't think the pack is worth it just because of those items. I saw some people kind of defending the pack in the comments section on some of my other videos because we got these items, but I still don't think they're very versatile because, like I said, not every sim is into Star Wars, so I wouldn't be able to use them very often anyways. And you wouldn't either, unless you like to decorate things for Star Wars fans or nerds or whatever, then, you know, go ahead. But for me personally, if I were to, because I was gifted this pack from the Game Changer program. I don't think that's a surprise anyways. I just wanted to clarify that if you didn't watch the last video. But I just, yeah, for me, it wouldn't be worth it if I had to pay for it myself. But if you haven't seen anyone use the items yet and you really want to see them in action, I'm going to put a lot of them in this little area by the TV because as it's for a major nerd, of course they needed like a very nice sort of like living room setup with some consoles as well. They don't have a computer in this house. However, you could put a laptop on the bar islands. That's not what it's called. Island counters. I just decided not to, but they do have this TV set up right here with all their decor pieces, all their collector items, and of course, also 2 consoles. Both of the consoles do the same. I've gotten questions about that in the past, but the reason that I use both is basically because I think of them as like an Xbox and then a PlayStation, or perhaps, well, mostly those two because the Switch is a little bit different. It looks, well, to be fair, it looks very different from an Xbox and a PlayStation. They're very bigger. They're not bulky necessarily, but they're definitely bigger consoles compared to the Switch. So I mostly see them as that because there are people out there that have both for some reason. I'm not judging you if you do because I'd love to have both. I just can't afford it. I'm actually considering, I don't know if I want to buy the Xbox or if I want to buy the new PlayStation that's coming out. Like, I don't know. I'm in such a weird spot. I don't even know if I can afford one of them, but I'm like, I really want one of them. I just don't know which one. So, but that would basically just be to play on in my free time. I wouldn't be making videos on them or something, even though I technically could because I do have a capture card, but I would just use them like to chill, play something on. I don't know what. It's been a long time since I've had a PlayStation. So my first, like, I didn't start out playing on computer. Not really. We started out playing on PlayStation and then later we also got, or maybe we started out playing on the Xbox and then later got a PlayStation. I don't really remember the order because I was very young, and also before you start judging my parents for spoiling us, they're divorced and they've been since I was 5. So they're basically like, we had one console at my dad's, that was the Xbox, and then we had one console at my mom's, which was the PlayStation. Then later we actually also got a GameCube, which we played on so much, like time splitters, nonstop basically. It was a lot of fun. But just so you know, anyways. But yeah, I don't know if I want the Xbox or the PlayStation. If you've made up your mind and you're really interested, like, let me know because I need someone to sway me in the right direction and I can't make up my mind myself. I'm so bad at making decisions, like you guys have no idea. I literally have to force myself to just do something at the end and then like not overthink it because that's how my brain works. Whatever. I want to point out here, by the way, later on I do go back and change the picture above the island counters because I felt like the interior wasn't nerdy enough because I wasn't using more of the Star Wars items upstairs. So I started out using some of the film posters, basically, the movie posters. I think we got them with Get Famous, but I'm not entirely sure. It would be kind of obvious if we got them from Get Famous, which is why I'm thinking that that's the pack they're from. You'll see that later on. But I just felt like I needed some like space kind of movie posters hanging around the loft, so I swapped out the painting downstairs, the fitness stuff pack, yeah, painting downstairs with one of the movie posters and made it look like it was one of the space movie posters, sci-fi movies I should call it, because it's not called a space movie anyways. So if you're sitting out there thinking that the house is not nerdy enough yet, don't worry, I add a little bit more. I also add the Moschino stuff pack painting over here on the right side of the bed, actually, because I felt like for some reason I was kind of imagining it, instead of being like a fashion photo, I was imagining it to be sort of like a movie poster as well that they've split up into 4 pictures. It looks really cool. If you look at it, just imagine that it's like a Jedi or something. Not in that picture, but in the black one. Just imagine that it's a Jedi, basically. Not a fashion poster, but just like a Jedi or something. Like, imagine it's an actor from one of the movies. That's what I'm trying to say. Technically, it could also be a villain, but I feel like it kind of looks like a hero picture, so I'm guessing. I'm leaning more towards a Jedi. Anyways, enough talk about that. Just so you know, like, that's why it's there. It's not because it's supposed to be a fashion poster of any kind. It's supposed to be a fancy kind of movie poster. And then, of course, out here, I just wanted them to have, like, a nice little cozy lounge area, or not a lounge area, because it's a sitting area. They have a table, but they could sit out there on the patio and have some drinks or something. You could either have 1 or 2 Sims living in this house, by the way. I'm guessing it's more for a single Sim, but you could have a couple living here if you want to. I just kind of imagine them to be a single, very nerdy, very geeky Sim that had a nice interior style and also a well-paying job of some sort. I don't know what. They could be a programmer, because in The Sims, they earn a lot of money, so it could be something like that. I think programming is a little bit on the nerdy side. And also, I just want to point this out, I've said this before a million times, but to me, being geeky and nerdy, they're not actually negative words. I know that some people use them as negative words, but to me, they're not. I feel like if you're geeky, it just means that you're very passionate about something, and being passionate about something is not a negative thing. Whether it's, I don't know, books or TV series or movies or computer games, it's completely fine. Like, it just means that you're very passionate about something. So I never use them as negative words. I just want to point that out if you're new here on the channel. I don't know, because I know that some people do, but personally, if I call you a geek, it's not in a negative way whatsoever. I call myself a geek all the time, and I don't think it's a negative thing. But anyways, back to the background behind, or the background behind the Sim. What am I saying? The background of the Sim that lives in this house. I feel like they could be a programmer, definitely something like that. Maybe they work in security or something. Like, do you know, because I'm rewatching Criminal Minds right now, and I love Garcia. Like, I just love her to bits. She is totally my vibe, you know. So it's sort of like that. Like, she could, or they, not a she, they could be working, because it could be whatever, but they could be working like programming security systems or something like that. That could be kind of cool. And they'd be having a really fat paycheck as well, so they could definitely afford something like this, something very nice, and also be able to afford all those collector's items, because collector's items, this is why I felt like it had to be a richer Sim living in this loft. That's also why I decorated it like that, but because collector's items cost a lot. Like, they're insanely pricey, especially like the really rare ones. It makes sense, but like, they're very pricey. So I just felt like for them to be able to afford all those collector's items, because all the things they have, all the small clutter pieces, the models and stuff in the living room area are so detailed that they simply must, maybe they're handmade or something, and this simply must be very expensive. So it had to be a very well-paid Sim living in this house. As for the rest of the video, we're basically just fixing the backyard, which is not really a backyard. They basically just have this pool, the barbecue area, and a dining area, and that is about it. So if you guys like this house, you can download it off the gallery. My ID is AvelineYT, and you can also find it under the hashtag Aveline or AvelineYT. If you have any suggestions for anything you want to see here on the channel, let me know in the comments section down below. And as always, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Remember to like and subscribe and all that good stuff if you did, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye bye!
Wanna to be.